Look,
Well,
we're well lit, I guess.
okay. Well, hello. This is the Green Corn Rebellion Show. I'm Gregory Harden II, and I'm here with my good friend Misty Grady from Arkansas. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. A little disappointed from last night, but I'm okay.
Like pain, for
Yeah.
sure. Life is pain, and we're all eventually gonna die. That's how I've just chosen to go full on.
Yeah.
I'm nihilistic now. I I don't care. I'm gonna buy land with a bunch of comrades, and we're just gonna fucking go off the grid. I mean, we'll still have like normal everyday people jobs, but we're all gonna like live in a commune together. It's gonna be great. I'm done.
Oh, I
That's,
remember I saw this tweet. I think it was Joshua Collins, the guy that's running for Congress. He tweeted
yeah,
out, he said, millennials are saying, "Oh, if Bernie's not the nominee, I'm not going to vote in November." And then Zoomers are saying, "If Bernie's not the nominee, I'm going to commit suicide." I was like, "Wow,
yeah.
that sounds like the general sentiment."
I saw that and I was like, yeah, I also feel this way. Yeah, I'm not a Zoomer, but like, maybe don't kill yourselves. Maybe it's no, that's inciting violence. I mean, really,
Yeah,
I I'm ready to like tear the whole system to the ground or to just opt the fuck out of it. I am done with all of this bullshit. I tried so hard. It's okay. Um, we might want to edit some of this out. If we're ever intending to sway people, me when I'm angry probably isn't the good way to go. Um, but Zoomers really are angry, I think. And what's most depressing to me is that the youth turnout was terrible. Did you see that?
yeah,
I was very disappointed in that. I I honestly don't know what to say. I thought we had done so well last time. In the midterms, we kicked ass.
yeah.
Where did we go? The exit polls don't show us really represented as much as we should have been. It's like all the old people came out and
Yeah,
voted to kill the young people.
exactly.
It's accurate.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Uh,
how did you feel about the results in Arkansas?
I hate it. I I there was a pretty big turnout,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I can't believe it. I know that Warren is about where I expected her to be, and I'm really pissed off that one of our elected officials, one of our state reps, that I supported and really was happy when she got elected, she came out for Warren very hard. And I think if she had come out for Bernie, we would have seen a different result. Because if
Or,
you
or
combine
yeah.
Bernie and Warren's voters together, he is in first place in Arkansas.
Hmm.
It's like he's in first place in most of these states if you were to combine their voters.
Yeah,
And
or if you were to take at least half from Warren, yeah.
right, like even half. Whoa, did I go away?
No.
Oh, okay. I accidentally clicked out of the screen. Anyway, like he would have taken at least half, and then the others would have split off into different categories, and everything would have been great. Like I, I honestly think that um, but we'll never know because Warren didn't endorse Bernie and drop out.
Or at least just drop out, because frankly, I would have been okay if she didn't endorse him.
Right. I
I'd just be okay if she just left the race
if
because
if she
she
had for it.
has the path to victory at this point. she didn't really have a path to victory a couple of weeks ago after Nevada, so it's pointless.
Exactly. And I don't know what to say about Elizabeth Warren. I don't. I really don't. I wish she would just drop out and endorse Biden like she clearly wants to. Because at least then it would convince they would convince like 60% of her voters, the ones who do believe that they're progressive. They would at least go, "Oh, wait, shit. Oh, I think it would be I think it would be better for Bernie if she endorsed Biden."
Yeah.
Honestly,
Really?
because it would, yeah, because everyone hates Biden, first
Yeah.
of all. And all of these white women want to play the progressive part. And that's being too harsh, probably. There are a lot of Warren supporters who just aren't paying close enough attention because
Mhm.
they have very busy lives
Yeah.
and they don't live on Twitter.
Yeah.
So they don't get any pushback from mainstream media. And so they just don't know. It's not their fault. They just don't know that she's not as progressive as she seems to be. And and so I think that would send them a strong message. And instead of maybe like if she endorsed Bernie going, well, and maybe not voting or going with someone else because maybe they would see that this was all just a scam and they would go vote for Bernie. I actually think it would backfire on her. The moderates would crow about it,
Yeah.
but and the mainstream media would eat it up. But to be honest, if she endorsed Bernie, what's the mainstream media gonna do? You think they're gonna give him positive coverage based on that?
Probably not. I mean,
Probably start talking about how he's a sexist who forced a progressive firebrand of a woman to drop out and endorse him. And is he even going to do her the common courtesy of making her VP?
yeah, that's
I
probably
can
how it be.
I hate to be this way, but like that's what I see mainstream media doing if she dropped out and endorsed Bernie. Whereas it'd be just praise everywhere if she endorsed Biden. Um, it would it would be a neutral result if she didn't endorse anyone, I
Yeah.
think. But if she endorsed Biden, I think there would be a lot of people who call themselves progressive that would stop and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And that might be the end of her.
Yeah, because I've seen people on Twitter who were Warren supporters. Like I saw this one guy this morning. It was Jason Johnson. He was talking about how Bernie's percentages in these states aren't as good as they were back in 2016. And this one guy, he's a Warren supporter. He said that's because Warren is taking vote and splitting the vote from Bernie. I'm a Warren supporter, and he's my second choice. And I was like, hey, look at that, someone who gets it. And I was like, see, this is why Warren should have dropped out before Super Tuesday.
It
Because he had, you wouldn't have had Bernie getting crushed in so many different states.
should have, but that's not what. I mean,
I don't
maybe I am being too fucking harsh, but I think she's bought and sold just like everyone else. She took that super PAC's money quite happily.
Yeah. That's
And
it's about to like shut down after March 10th too. So
yeah,
apparently it's a higher motive besides just being pro Warren. It was more of about stopping Bernie.
it's always been about stopping Bernie, and it's always been about stopping. No, it hasn't been about stopping Bernie. It's about stopping us. We've got to reframe this. It's not about stopping Bernie. It's about stopping us.
The move
Because that's
out.
who they're afraid of, us. They're always afraid of the big masses, the poor unwashed. They hate us.
Yeah.
And it's about us. It's not just Bernie. It's what he represents to them, and
Mm-hmm.
he's made us angry poors aware of our situation. And so it's not about stopping Bernie, it's about stopping us. And hopefully, if they're dirty enough and destroy our dreams and hopes well enough this time around, we'll just drop out of the process altogether. I think that's their goal. They want to
Oh,
disenfranchise us forever. They want us to go away.
yeah.
That's what they want. I'm sure you know.
Mm,
I'm sure you and your family and everyone in the African American community is well aware
yeah.
of how they disenfranchise voters. Um, and it is everyone who challenges the status quo. Um, it, like, it is, that's their goal. That's what they want. They want us to be the hippies. They want us to become the hippies.
Yeah.
The ones that really believed in something and then stopped trying. They want us to be the ones that gave up on their hopes and dreams and dropped out of the system
Mm-hmm.
so they can just keep going as they've always gone.
Yeah.
That's what all of the that's why they closed all those polling places in Texas, and it's why they closed them in mostly young minority communities.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to stop the Latino vote from sending Bernie to first place and taking Texas,
Yep.
because that would have been a real bellwether for us. California, they knew they weren't stopping Bernie in California.
At least not this time, like they did in 2016.
But honestly, if you look at it again, he would have run the fucking board completely with it if Warren weren't there.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. It would have been a fucking bloodbath. Biden might not have even gotten a percentage of delegates.
Yeah.
And yeah, also there were troubles in California. Not as many, but they still had really long lines. And
Did you hear about people waiting 7 hours in order
yeah,
to?
7 fucking hours to vote. I was in and out in 5 minutes.
Me too.
Yeah. And it's in this nice park area,
Insane. Um, and Warren came in third place in her own state, in her home state.
I was telling people that for weeks out. I was like, she's going to come in third in her own state. I guarantee you, watch it happen. No, it won't happen. I was like, look at these polls.
Second place.
I think it was Bloomberg or Biden, one of the two. I don't know.
First place, and then Bernie, and then
Bernie.
yeah, because Bernie was ahead in Massachusetts forever.
Yeah, actually, it was Biden in first place. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then and the exit polls showed that Bernie was winning by 2 percentage points.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
hate.
but I thought that was embarrassing for her to lose her own state like that. And then in Oklahoma, see here in Oklahoma, because she's also from Oklahoma, she got fourth place here behind Bloomberg. And what's embarrassing about that is that only 3 campaigns had any kind of ground game here in Oklahoma. That's Bernie, Bloomberg, and her. And she came in behind. They all came in behind Biden, and he didn't have any people out here. That's the other thing I don't like is that Biden didn't even campaign in any of these states, and he won them.
Yeah, well, like I had Bernie signs out. I did work on the ground in Arkansas. I never saw a Biden supporter ever. I met one, and he was just like just the one that I know personally. I never met another one in real life. Like it was so fucking strange to me. And I mean, I talk to older people all the time. I don't understand how that happened. I feel like, well, Arkansas has an open primary, so you could vote on any ticket you wanted.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I mean, I don't think this might have happened here, but I do suspect that when Trump sent that message that said vote for Bernie and the told the Republicans to vote for Bernie in the primaries, I think most of them knew he didn't mean Bernie. He
Mm-hmm.
was sending a message to vote for anyone but Bernie
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to sow discord, first of all. Second of all, he's afraid of Bernie.
Oh yes.
And he also, it worked great on Democrats. They suddenly got so afraid. It worked great because it convinced a lot of Democrats, I think, that Bernie couldn't win against Trump because he would be buffeted up by all these Republicans who didn't mean to vote for him in a general election. Like, people think Trump is dumb. I keep telling people Trump is fucking genius. I hate this man so much, but he's a genius because he's playing a game that most of these fuckers aren't. Telling people to vote for Bernie, that's a fucking killer move. That's smart. I hate saying that, but he played us all because he convinced enough people, I think, that Bernie's not a safe bet because all these Republicans are going to be voting for him. It's going to be fake,
Yeah.
a fake election. And so they decided to vote for Biden. But it also could be that his voters aren't as stupid as we think they are. Because I've talked to a lot of these guys, and trust me, they're smart. They just don't care about people. Like, some of them are dumb. Of course, you're going to meet dumb ones.
Yeah.
But the people in charge and a lot of their voter base, they're not stupid. They know that Bernie's a threat.
Yeah.
And so when he's telling them to vote in the primary, he's really saying, vote for someone that I make fun of all the time, not
Mm-hmm.
someone that I defend all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, they're not stupid. And they see what's happening. It's not like the Republicans aren't watching what's happening. Do they think that they don't know what's going on in the Democratic primary? Do you think that the Republican voters are fucking blind? Like, they're watching this and they're having the time of their life. Look, I don't tell too many people about this, but I have a housemate who's almost never here, and it works out great financially. He's not going to become part of my future commune, but he's a Trump supporter. And that, like, the lease is ending in a few months, so that's going to be over. It's a mental nightmare, but he's thankfully not here most of the time. But he's smart, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows what Trump is doing, and he's watching the Democratic primary, and he has some really keen observations on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I may not like living with him, but god damn it, he's right a lot of the time. And I hate it because he can almost predict what's going to happen in the Democratic primary. And I'm like, you really think that this entire thing is going to go smoothly for you? Every single Trump supporter that voted for him is still 100% behind him.
Yeah.
Even if they're saying they're not, most of them are. Kind of like how everyone is saying, I love Bernie. I'm not voting for him, but
Yeah.
I love him. Then what? I don't love politicians that I won't vote for.
Right?
Like, I don't love Trump. I don't love Biden. I, I no. People say you shouldn't have to be in love with your political candidate, but I mean, I shouldn't hate them.
Yeah.
Like,
Fear them being in power at least.
right. Shouldn't be like, I shouldn't feel like Mike Gravel in 2008 on the presidential debate stage going, I'm scared of all of you, including, like, none of you should be anywhere near nukes. All of you are fucking insane. You're gonna turn Iraq into fucking glass. Please stop. Like, I feel like that a lot of the time. And it just hurts me so bad, especially because I know so many great down to earth minority DSA members in the Northwest Arkansas region, and they're really trying hard to create something. But god damn it, at all these white educated women, what is wrong with white women like myself? Like, I don't understand what's wrong with my people. I don't get it. But they pretend to give a shit about these minority women and their positions. But when they're begging them, literally begging them, almost in tears to vote for this guy because he's not going to deport their family members,
Yeah.
these white women go, "Oh, sweetie, we're going to vote for Warren because she has a vagina." Sorry, but it's true. There's a large portion of white women that are just fucking pissed because it's our time. And I get it. I want to have a white woman in power one day too. It's not to be the right white woman, It can't be. Everyone wants to see themselves represented. I get that. But like, doing it just because it's a woman and ignoring lived people of color's experience, it's just disheartening. Now, you look at this divide between the African American population in terms of young and old,
Yeah.
and it's quite striking because you can see that the young Latinos are actually influencing their parents.
I know, right?
I see it and I'm like, wow, you guys are doing a great job over there. But I think that their experience is different than the African American community overall.
Yeah.
Um, you guys have had a much longer, much more troubled history with the United States in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Um, why do you think there's this discrepancy?
Eesh. I don't know, honestly, because I've been trying to figure it out. Some people say it has to do with the church, and that makes black voters, more specifically older black voters, more conservative. So there's that. Because I honestly don't know, because my parents, they're lefties. Like, they're the reason why I'm on the left. So like I said, what was it I said the other day? I said what was it? I can't remember what it was I said. Something I said on Twitter about how, I don't know. I'll probably offend people if I say it. But no,
Oh, offend. Offend.
no, but like I don't understand why there's that big divide. And more importantly, I feel like we're not doing a good enough job at getting younger black people voting. Like, I feel like that's also a big issue, because there's, I mean, I'm gonna just assume there's more black people under age 40 that are eligible to vote than over age 40, because baby boomers are dying across the voters. But no, but like I feel like that's probably a bigger problem because I don't know any black person under the age of 30 that's going in there voting for Biden, right? Uh, but like, so I feel like it's a matter of getting more of us out to the polls because there's no reason why it should be just like such a huge sweep of mostly black voters voting in the South for Biden like it is. It just doesn't make any sense because still, like the exit polls still tell you that younger black voters still prefer Bernie. So, like that tells you something right there. We need to be getting more young black people out to vote.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Um, I thought we had a real shot at that this time, what with all of the black entertainment artists that have come out for Bernie and have, really tried to rock the vote in a lot of major ways.
Yeah.
But that just didn't work. And I don't know what we can do to take these disaffected voters um, and put them into the political process again. Um, how we can convince them that it's not all just bullshit.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and I think that might
that's
be
the
where
yeah. Go ahead.
I think that might also be where the divide is to some extent with the age group. Um, because older black voters, they lived through segregation. They saw what white moderates were capable of.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm just a white woman, but to me, if I had lived through that time, maybe I would vote defensively,
Yeah.
planning ahead, thinking, is the white voter,
Hmm.
is the moderate white voter going to back this person? Because if they're not, life will get a lot worse for me.
Yeah,
Is
because
it?
that's what my mom said to me back in 2008. Because I remember I asked her, I said, how come black people ended up supporting Obama in the primary, but they didn't support Al Sharpton in '04? She was like, because in Iowa, Obama won. So therefore, that signaled to us black voters that they were okay with him. So therefore, we would support him. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. But,
That,
yeah,
yeah, I can see that being a reason. And with Bernie, like, not coming in first solidly there, it did, like, in terms of delegate count and with all the confusion of that race, there wasn't a clear signal that America was going to be ready to accept this socialist Jew.
yeah,
Um, but also, I think that younger voters, um, because maybe of the progress their elder parents made by voting for the lesser evil so many times, feel like they can vote more offensively, like they can fight back now with
yeah,
their vote. And they're tired. They didn't go through that, the humiliation and pain maybe of losing a candidate they really believed in yet.
yeah,
um, and haven't really suffered the political consequences to that extent. And of course, again, things didn't get very much better for people under Obama. So, they didn't really get worse. So, for most people, I guess. Uh, so, I mean, for them, maybe they were just tired of waiting for hope and change. So they're ready to vote for people that and not care what that white moderate has to say.
yeah,
Um, and in terms of population demographics, I mean, I think we could still have a shot in the general just because there's so many independents who like Bernie. And there are a lot of people that like Bernie
mhm,
outside of the Democratic Party
yeah,
and the mainstream politics. if you can just get them to the polls on November 3rd, you'll win. But
Yeah.
turnout has to be high.
Mm.
And my concern is that this primary season has been so divisive that turnout can't be very high. And it hasn't been extremely high overall, um, which is what Bernie always said. If turnout is high, I'm going to win outright.
Yep.
And they've done a really good job of depressing turnout, I think. Not just in terms of the polling locations being closed, but in terms of making this primary season so fucking divisive and like a bloodbath, um, and discrediting Bernie in such a major way. And they almost never have him on there unless they're saying something negative about him.
Yeah.
So, um, people aren't as enthusiastic as they were before. And you can't discredit the theory that there were also a lot of people who really hated Clinton.
Yep.
But some of those voters, they'll come back to us if we win in the primary. And then I think we'll get all the Obama to Trump voters back. I mean, especially since most of them were Obama, Bernie, Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I see this logical leap here where it's like, well, that didn't work out for us. Kind of feel betrayed there, so we're going to go to Bernie, and then Bernie, it fails, and they're like, I'm not voting for Clinton. She can go to hell. Like, I don't know. There's such a strong sentiment from that. And people have short-term memories. You're a Zoomer. You wouldn't remember this. I barely remember this, and I'm a millennial. But in 2008, things were not peachy hunky dory between Obama and Clinton.
Oh, I remember. It was the first election I followed. Like,
They did not like each other, and I believe accusations of being born in Kenya came out of it, and maybe some Muslim garbs, and
yeah.
accusations of terrorism, and then, oh, we all got to be really offended by this black guy, this black preacher saying our chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah, and
Well, they should. They
uh,
should come home to roost.
yeah, and
Like,
that's when the term Obama boys was a thing, which later
yes,
turned into Bernie Bros.
it's so strange. Time is just it's just circular.
Yeah.
It just happens over and over and over again. The Bernie Bros. Please. Like, fuck that. Like I'm not an independent person. Ugh. I mean, that's what it all really boils down to is they want they never have our back. We're supposed to always have their back though.
Yep.
And they feel like they have us in a bind. Especially now with Trump, we don't have a choice anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a choice. And I don't know. I can't in good conscience vote for Biden. I just can't.
You don't want to participate in elder abuse.
Exactly. He has dementia. This is cruel.
Yes.
Like I mean, I don't like the man, but like, holy shit, I do not like watching the man deteriorate in front of me on live television. This is not entertainment for me. This
Yeah.
is sad. I am sad. I feel, I just, life is short, and it just feels like it's going on forever. Life is really short in the scheme of things, but this feels like we've been fighting this fight for 20 years. And I mean, to a large extent, we've been losing for 40 years at least.
Yeah.
Um, you would think that the hippies that lost all hope might come back out to vote for a guy that's going to give them health care. What I'm really pissed about is all these Yang voters.
Oh, really? Why is
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they must be all bots at this point because you actually look at how many votes he's getting in every state, and it's like, oh, okay, 0.3% of the vote.
yeah.
Cool. But they're all online. Every single one of them, all of them. And I don't know, they haven't stopped. And I think a lot of them, you know, I felt like they were our natural allies. And I think most of them have come over to Bernie.
Yeah,
There's
most
a lot of them
some of them
still
have.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them still active online that I just think, look, last time Bernie won like half of the states, and he set a movement on fire. Yang did not do the same thing. I like UBI, but he isn't going to come back in 4 years and be the new candidate on the block, like the hot one. Especially now that he's become a CNN contributor. God, I liked him. I would have supported a second presidential run, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, let's fucking try UBI. But now it's kind of like, wow, you really just ran for president to get a job at CNN.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you did. Why? Why is this happening? um, Tulsi's still in.
Yeah.
Got one delegate.
Too. I
How
feel
did
like
she?
she drop out too.
How did she get one delegate? Which?
American Samoa,
Oh,
because
that's.
only because Bloomberg won, but she got 26% of the vote. So yeah.
I I just don't get American Samoa at all. I guess.
Yeah,
Um.
that's weird because that's the only actual like contest that Bloomberg won too.
Yeah. It's like how many people are in American Samoa?
I don't know. I would assume at
You
least
don't know anything.
100,000.
This is why we lost American Samoa. Well, there's that answer for you. They probably were the only campaigns that contacted American Samoans.
Yeah. Well, actually, Tulsi, I think she is Samoan.
Yeah. I forget what she is, but she is native Hawaiian, I thought. That's the same that oh God, we're showing incredible ignorance here.
Darn.
I feel so bad right now. We should be judged so hard. American Samoa is a part of America, and we know like
Well, like
nothing
the
about
difference.
it.
Well, like you could be Samoan and also be Hawaiian, I guess. But like there's also Native Hawaiians who, it's
Right. It's like it's a complicated thing.
Ab- yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh my God. I've never been so offended by myself in my life.
But
Hello?
yeah, Tulsi, huh?
Oh, you froze for a second. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but I think Tulsi should drop out at this point too, because there's never really been a path to victory for her, and
No,
she's not going to let her into the debates.
no.
So I don't see why she's still running. I just don't get it. She could have had her House seat, but she decided not to run for Congress again. So I don't know what she's doing. People
Hey,
hypothesize that she's trying to become a contributor on Fox News, but I don't know. I feel like she would have dropped out by now if she wanted that. She wouldn't be, yeah.
I At first I thought she was in the race to like be backup for Bernie in the debates, take the heat off of him, and either become VP or like return to the House victorious
Yeah.
and be like, well, now I have all this funding to run my campaign on. Like I I I thought that was what she was doing at first, and I was 100% behind it.
Yeah.
And I also, I thought she was a cool person until I looked a little bit more into her, and now I'm just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
um, some red flags here. I like that you endorsed Bernie, but would I vote for like Joe Rogan? I don't know. It depends on who he's running against, to be quite honest at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
who is he running against? Is he running against fucking Bloomberg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I know Joe Rogan has done DMT and has never arrested a black person.
Yeah.
You can you can say worse about a presidential or even a you could say worse about like a congressional candidate.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, never. Those are great things. Great things. But yeah, uh, I joke. I probably would not vote for Joe Rogan unless I will emphasize, I will vote for anyone over Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Thank
Even
God he dropped out.
yeah,
Like,
thank God he dropped. Yeah.
because then I might just be like, well, I said I would vote for anyone over Bloomberg. Fuck. Is there a libertarian on the ballot? Because there sure as hell ain't gonna be a Green Party candidate in Arkansas.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what Tulsi's game is at this point anymore.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know why she's there. She's not helping Bernie really.
No.
Um, she's not hurting him, but
I mean, kind of, because, like, think of it this way. There's a lot of, like, progressives who were donating to her who probably would have, donated to Bernie, more to Bernie's campaign if she hadn't decided to run a full campaign for however many months now, a year now. So in that way, she might be hurting Bernie, even though he's fundraising more than everyone. So I
right.
guess it doesn't really matter.
But you never
But
know how much that might matter. It might be like the difference. It could like
putting their
that
campaign
ad buy. It could
somewhere.
have been an ad buy in like Iowa on TV instead of social media,
Yeah.
which I do think the campaign should be doing more ad buys, but it's probably hard to do ad buys from a media that hates you.
Yeah.
They're probably giving him a different price than they give other people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no proof of that, but like, it's what I would do if I were in the media. I'd be like, for you, 10 times the price. For you, honey. Because we're going to give Biden all the free campaign shit he could ever ask for. Here's a town hall with 200 old fucks. We're going to put it on for 2.5 hours. Like, that's literally what they do.
Yeah.
He didn't campaign in any of the Super Tuesday states. And I'm just like,
Insane. That's probably what makes me like more sad about that whole thing is that he didn't even campaign here. Like I knocked doors for Bernie, and
yeah.
yeah, like, and what
And,
was they what?
and at least Bloomberg bought enough people to knock on doors for him that it makes sense he got some of the vote.
Yeah.
Like, it's like enough people. How did Biden get anything? I just don't understand it other than all the free propaganda he's been provided.
Yeah, it's insane.
The brain worms.
For real. Let me think. But no, what were you about to say?
Oh, nothing. I was yawning.
Okay. But yeah, and Bloomberg dropped out today and endorsed Biden, which, should give people pause.
Good. It's,
Yeah,
remember that Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie, and he's a sexist pig
no
and
kidding. Oh my
transphobic.
God. That was like my least favorite.
Meanwhile, Bloomberg is calling trans people it. At
Yeah,
least Joe Rogan uses the correct fucking pronouns.
yeah,
Like, it's relative at this point.
yeah.
Like,
The whole Joe Rogan, the whole everyone freaking out over Joe Rogan thing, that was like my least favorite part of the entire campaign. Because I was just like, are you people fucking kidding me right now?
I was
Like,
like, this is controversial.
like this is like the least of our worries in terms of endorsements. Like Henry Kissinger endorsed Hillary Clinton, and none of you people said a word about that. And that's infinitely worse than any Joe Rogan endorsement or Chapo tweets.
To my knowledge, neither Chapo nor Joe Rogan have ever bombed Vietnam
Yeah.
or like Laos or Cambodia or destroyed people or waged war and killed children. I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
neither of them, to my knowledge, have
Yeah.
done anything that comes close to Kissinger.
Yeah.
Kissinger should be tried at The Hague for war crimes and then summarily executed. I do not know how else to put it. He is a bad, bad, bad man. But it's great that Hillary got his endorsement, isn't it? It's great. It's good. It's
It's
a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I just Bloomberg endorsing Biden, and now they're going to coalesce, and Warren is going to stay in the race to kneecap Bernie and the progressive movement.
Hmm.
So we might lose.
Yeah. Right.
There's still a chance, but I am afraid that if the youth vote don't turn out in the next few states, it's going to become a fulfilling prophecy. That's all that's going to be on the news, day in, day out, day in, day out. Doesn't matter how many people of color Bernie wins, or how many women, or how young. If we don't vote in overwhelming numbers, it's game over. They will go to the second ballot, even if Bernie has the most delegates or the popular vote, and we'll lose. But so will they come November, because Trump ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I hate him, but there will be just enough defectors from Trump with Bernie. Like, there are definitely people on the right that would go to Bernie. There are definitely people that are independent that would go to Bernie. They're not going for Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, if they wanted Biden, then they would have voted for Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that Biden being, I mean, I've heard it said that Biden being a male Clinton is actually an advantage, because it wasn't the fact that it was of her record, it was the fact she was a woman. And I don't want to give that too much credence, but it's undeniable that to some level there is sexism levied against the female candidates.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it more weight than it's due, because a lot of it is about their policies, and most of it is about their policies. But there is a segment of people in almost every circle that still are not ready for a woman.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. It's true in the conservative circles, the neoliberal circles, and on the left. It is not a one side problem. It's
Yep.
just that to neoliberals, they've chosen to do this identity thing,
Mhm.
where it's the most important thing. Um, if you don't check one of the boxes or check it appropriately, because remember, Bernie's just a white man. He's not Jewish or anything special like that. Nothing. It that doesn't qualify as a minority box, I guess. I mean, I always thought it was a minority box. Am I wrong?
Yeah, like I thought so too. I mean, he even had family that died in the Holocaust, which people don't even
Yeah,
talking about that. And then Chris
yeah.
Matthews had to go on TV and apologize for saying him winning in Nevada was like the Nazis taking over France. Like, oh wow.
And somehow that got attributed to Warren. I don't know. Someone like was like, "Thanks, Warren," and I was like, "Wait, what did Warren do? How did Warren fuck with Chris Matthews? I don't get this."
No, Chris Matthews. See, you do know he's left MSNBC now, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like,
He had to flee because we're going to be taking him out to Central Park later on. So he has to go in hiding now.
with a good time. Like, um, that's ridiculous. Or is it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Unless, no, it's ridiculous. Like, we're not going to use guns.
Yeah.
God, what are we? Wasteful? Guillotines. I mean, I'm just joking, Chris Matthews. We mean you no harm. Um,
Totally watches this show.
he
Totally.
totally watches this show. Oh, but like somebody's gonna watch this and they're gonna go, they're
They're,
violent.
they're gonna send it to him and be like, "Hey, man, I think you should go into hiding." They're literally talking about this.
Oh my God. Oh, that would be an epic troll.
No, I no, I'm actually kind of sad that he went ahead and retired from MSNBC because I was really enjoying seeing him freak out every week when Bernie wins the new primary. That was fun.
It's probably bad for most people to do that happen on a weekly basis, though, because while we're sitting there laughing our asses off, going, "This is ridiculous. Holy shit, this guy's crazy." There's a lot of people going, "Fucking what? What did I miss? Holy
Yeah.
shit, TV man is saying that Bernie's gonna drag people into Central Park and kill them. What
Yes.
did I miss?" And they're just gonna take it as fucking gospel. They're gonna be like, "We have to stop it. We have to save Chris Matthews. We have to save him."
I don't
Like,
know. And because do you remember that one lady in, I think it was New Hampshire? She told that guy on MSNBC that she decided to vote for Bernie because of how MSNBC had been treating Bernie. So I don't know. And that lady wasn't like a young lady either. She had to be at least in her 50s or 60s. So I
I
don't know.
remember
I
seeing
don't.
her and I was like, "Oh, I love you. You're
Yeah.
precious. You're my favorite person now. I congratulations. Good for you."
Yeah.
Like
I
yeah, that lady gave me hope. But
yeah.
like after some of these primaries, I've just been like,
Yeah. But I don't know. I think a lot of MSNBC viewers, especially the older ones, I think some of them have caught on to how anti-Bernie MSNBC is because it's
"What makes
pretty insane, huh?
yeah, it is pretty
Like
insane."
worse
Why?
than CNN because CNN is bad. Don't get me wrong, but MSNBC, like it's literally just like how are they going to stop Bernie? That's literally how they phrase everything about the primary is how are they going to stop Bernie? And it's
Like, why
insane.
must this man be stopped? Why
Yeah,
must he be stopped? He seems to be doing good to me.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
eh,
CNN, they did have that on the ticker on CNN the other day. They had uh
eh,
coronavirus or Bernie Sanders be stopped.
like, am I going crazy? or am I the only one who sees how insane this is? Like, are we serious? Are
Oh my god.
our grandparents and our moms and dads really brainwashed by this shit? Like, what am I missing here?
It's so insane.
Like, it's so obvious. And I mean, you look at it and their viewership isn't even it's not even that great. Uh,
Not.
but it's the only thing these people watch.
Yeah.
They're not watching Fox News, and Fox News actually gives Bernie favorable coverage.
Which is crazy. That's insane. That, like, if you want to go on cable news to see more favorable coverage of Bernie Sanders, you have to go to Fox News. It's insane.
They've got a really good game going. They know it. They're like, we'll get the pissed off leftists.
Yeah.
We'll drain MSNBC dry.
Yeah, 'cause Fox News has the highest viewership of all these cable news channels.
I might be wrong, but I think it does combine.
It might. I think so.
And it's because and they're better at propaganda. They're just better at
Like
propaganda.
people, like I know people. They try to say to me like MSNBC is just like the left wing equivalent of CNN of Fox News, and I'm like, I fucking wish it was. I wish it was the left wing equivalent, because otherwise Bernie would be winning right now.
Yeah,
Or,
like
no,
CNN would be the centrist news network where they were like if that was our world and we had our own propaganda outlet and then CNN was the center's propaganda outlet,
mhm.
I think we'd be fine. I
More
think we'd
like,
be a lot less.
if anything, if MSNBC was the left wing equivalent of Fox News, they would actually be criticizing Bernie Sanders to the left from the left. So
They'd
it's
be
like,
like,
I don't think.
I don't know if this guy is liberal. I don't think he's leftist enough, first of all, but he's the leftist person on the field, so everyone needs to coalesce around him. Like
Yes,
that kind of thing. Like,
it'd
I
be
know he's not the communist we all want,
yes,
but
like
he's the
it'd be like Chris Hayes would come on every night saying he needs to read theory again. Like he
right.
needs to read.
He needs to revisit the great words of Karl Marx in Das Kapital. He needs to read up on his Lenin and his Mao.
He needs to take a page out of Lenin's playbook, and it's like, wow, like okay, Chris Hayes, we get it. You're a lefty.
Okay, Chris Hayes, we get it. Shh. Like, and then you've got CNN with Anderson Cooper going, well, unfortunately, our Lord and Savior Mayor Pete has dropped out today. But rest assured that Joe Biden, our magnificent hero, has arisen from his grave. And he's here to save capitalism, much like the Simpsons episode where Lenin rose from his grave and said communism. That's basically what they would be doing.
Yeah.
It would be a better society because then we would have clear, differentiated propaganda networks at the very least.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want propaganda. I really just want the truth.
Yeah.
And then, we get to decide what that means. We get to interpret it. Don't lay it out for me like I'm some child.
Yeah.
Let me have my own opinion. But we don't have that. The best we've got is Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Honestly.
I hate to say that, but he has these long form discussions with people and he doesn't really push back, but he also, he listens to people and lets them talk. And then they either convince people with the quality of their words and the strength of their argument, or they don't convince people. Um, and you get a lot of different viewpoints. So, I mean, even it's not perfect. Obviously, Joe Rogan isn't the best, but like his type of show is much better quality than what you get with these like pundits on the TV, all trying to out.
Watching him is better than watching Meet the Press with Chuck Todd. Like, honestly.
I mean, yeah, like it's hard to say what would make it better or what we could do to stop it because honestly, MSNBC and CNN and Fox News, there's nothing we can do to control the content of uh, their news stations unless we win.
Yeah. I heard MSNBC is looking to hire more contributors that are more pro Bernie. Like that was a story that came out a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know. Some of our favorite people might be getting picked up soon to be contributors, but
That would be nice.
it would be like,
But I don't want to hope.
yeah, because then we'd probably be waiting forever and never see it. But they've been letting Benjamin Dixon on quite a bit, so that's been good. Yeah.
I mean, they don't really treat him with respect
No.
that he's deserved.
Yeah.
But at least they're like going through the motions of trying to represent us.
Yeah.
It just really, really, really disappointing what the Super Tuesday results looked like. I mean, we had some good down the ballot races that did well, but Jessica Cicernos, I think I'm mispronouncing her name, in Texas, the Texas 28, she was endorsed by AOC.
And
Oh, I was so hurt by that. She could have won easily, and just a few percentage points, a few thousand votes. That's all that separated them. I was just so mad.
Hopefully she runs again.
I think if she were to run again, she would win.
Yeah.
But like, we can't, even if we miraculously get Bernie in after this kind of primary, I don't think he'll be able to accomplish much at this point without us sending some people to back him up.
Yeah.
Also, we just need to start cleaning house in general. We have to start focusing on down the ballot races. And we've got to flow as much money as we've been pushing into Bernie into the down the ballot races in the next 2 years. We need to get serious about it. We need to get people running right now. We need every fucking seat. We need everybody, all of us. We need to have every single race contested. Every single race. In red districts and blue districts, we need it bad. Because if we force them to spend money everywhere, they won't be able to keep up. And we can if we just focus on it. If we just put everything into it, we could take all of California. We could take all of these progressive states. We could stage a revolution, but we have to focus on down the ballot candidates, and we have to do it like now.
Yeah.
And
I've been interviewing some of those candidates on my show.
Yeah, you've been doing a good job, and oh man, we almost got CA 12 Shahid Bouchard. We've got Shahid against Pelosi.
Yep, he's made it into the general. So
yep. I'm very happy about that. I don't want to say I hope, but at the very least, we're putting on a real fight, and that matters. These seats going unchallenged or without a real challenger, it just It's not healthy for democracy.
Yeah.
We've got to have active political campaigns going on. I know it's going to be really hard if some of these people lose, but if they come even close, they really need to consider just fucking running again.
Yeah.
Because I'll know who they are this time. I
Mm-hmm.
won't have to waste all this time tracking them down and going, where the fuck is a progressive? I've looked at so many counties or congressional districts this cycle, like on Twitter and like just trying to find congressional candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and if we just got the information out there, we could win and win big. But it's going to be a struggle getting those House seats and
Yeah.
Senate seats, more importantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Senate, that's big because we, what is it? There's maybe like less than 10 senators that I would say are pretty decent, and that's like being generous. um, so,
Markey,
yeah, he's Ed Markey in Massachusetts. You know, he's being primaried by Kennedy.
primary by fucking Kennedy.
Yeah, yeah, I hate that. Like, really, I really hate that because simply based on his name, he might end up winning, and I don't, and he's not remotely even close to being as good as Ed Markey. Like, it's
Ed
just, I
Markey.
hate.
Yeah, Ed Markey. He is just the Green New Deal.
Yeah,
And I am just so disappointed in our system. And it's like every time one of these guys gets through and they're good, it's by almost a fluke.
yeah,
It's like the system just didn't take them seriously or something, and so they didn't wind up against them. They were just like, well, they're gonna lose anyway, so let's just let it happen. We don't need to get involved.
yeah.
It's always a fluke. Um, but the bad guys, they just need to win once,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're in power for it seems like forever.
Yeah.
Um, Joe Biden should not be in politics anymore.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, Bernie's been in politics a long time too, but
He's one of the good ones.
he's one of the good ones. And
Very good ones.
and Vermont is just a special place with good people who just want the everyone to leave each other alone and like support each other when they need it.
Yeah.
Like that's Vermont. Um, yeah, I feel like we can still win, but it's gonna take everything we've got. And we better be ready to fucking hold the wall when
Yeah.
we win because there are going to be centrists left and right coming out saying, oh, we shouldn't support Bernie in the
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee that. Um, they'd rather lose to Trump than win with Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just feel very, very disgruntled. I feel like this might be the last time I get this active in politics,
Mm-hmm.
um, at least for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Um, I hate saying that because the Green Party isn't much to look at,
Yeah.
but it's what we've got. It's already there. We could just take it over.
Yeah.
Possible. But uh, there's just so many things we've got to do. And we've can't let ourselves get down and depressed. We've got to fight back. And we've got to make calls. We've got to knock on doors. I know states that have already voted, knocking on doors isn't possible. Make calls, send texts, put people you know in other states in the Burn app.
Yep.
What you can do. You can travel to other states too. Knock on doors. Mention NAFTA every single fucking chance you get online. Hashtag Wisconsin with
Yep.
Bernie hates NAFTA. Like that's the strongest message that we should be pushing right now, because everyone knows the universal health care, and everyone knows the student debt, and everyone knows the Green New Deal. Fucking Bernie hates NAFTA. Hates it.
Yep.
Voted against it. We have to push it hard because people hate NAFTA. They love their unions. Push that economic message to the brink.
Yep. Because Michigan's one of the states that's up next. So
Yeah. Michigan is vital. If Bernie wins Michigan, we come back swinging. And it becomes clear that the party of the working class is here.
Yep.
But if he doesn't come out swinging in Michigan, and for some reason Biden wins, it starts looking very much harder.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that Minnesota did not go to Bernie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust that. I mean, I can at least excuse Oklahoma to some extent. Maybe they all just hated Clinton.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a socialist revival that we saw in the 1920s, you know? Maybe time's not looping around that much. Maybe it was just that they hated Clinton. Could be. But, like, that didn't happen in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That Minnesota loved Bernie. So it doesn't make any sense that he didn't win it.
Yeah.
And so I will be watching Michigan very carefully. If Bernie doesn't win outright in Michigan, I don't know if I can trust the results. At that point, I think I will be convinced that we've been rigged. I mean, I don't know what other conclusion I could draw from that. How do you go from winning 60% of a state to splitting it or going 3 ways on it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So yeah, we just have to stay focused. March 10th's not that far away.
Yeah, 6 days. Next Tuesday.
So, yeah. You think that's enough?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's been nice talking to you about the race so far. Where can we find you on social media?
I am at Riverhawk Fox.
On Twitter, right?
Twitter, yes, on Twitter. I probably won't accept your friend request on Facebook, but I will probably follow back on Twitter.
All right. Cool.
Alrighty. Well, it's been great talking to you, Gregory, and I will talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
Alrighty. Bye.